Welcome back, operatives. 007 Dork here. They say you're only as good as your questions. Well, lucky for you, I never miss. Missions 1 and 2 involved data that was rather static. Today we're dealing with something much more near real time. Expense statements. You see, after each Q Division case is closed, the travel and expense statements get generated and logged. You have them in a zip file, but I'm going to demonstrate how you can build a knowledge base around enterprise storage containers like Amazon's S3 buckets. You know, where they would automatically be constantly getting inserted. And I'm going to talk about two different approaches for you to take with those. But don't panic, operatives. 007 Dork will show you how to add the expense statements from your zip file, since I'm not giving you my secret key as much as you might beg. The spy game is filled with travel and adventure, as you know, but it also has a dark side. There's double agents. I just happened to be walking through our accounting team's offices the other day, and I noticed an expense statement that included a 4 terabyte hard drive as well as an encrypted USB drive. Those purchases seem a little sus to me, operatives. After adding our files to a new knowledge base we're going to call agent expense statements, and then indexing those, of course, no finger wagging, we'll update our assistant named Field Training Assistant. Then I'm immediately going to test my theory and find out if I really did get lucky and spot a double agent. Are you as excited as I am to find out? Then let's get into Q Division headquarters and get busy. I don't know about you operatives, but I'm having so much fun creating knowledge bases, I'm ready to go ahead and create another one. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I'm in my answer section from my hub to make sure I'm not seeing all my applications and all my other junk. We're going to go ahead and create a new knowledge base, and this time the knowledge base is going to be our agent, if I could spell correctly, statements. And I would normally give this more information. This time, what we're going to do is I'm going to turn on the flag for enhanced accuracy, which takes a little bit longer to process these things. But when you see what's in these expense statements, you will absolutely understand why. The reason here is that I've got several tables that walk through the timeline for the mission, and these things cross boundaries. I've got an expense statement here that's going to cross 3 pages of information, and so we want to use our advanced chunking for that. We've walked through in Module 1, browsing and uploading. We walked through in Module 2, choosing from a catalog. I want to show you how you would take advantage of using a connection. I'm going to come in and I'm going to select my space, and I want to choose my Q Division expense statements that is a bucket out in my Amazon S3. Normally, if you're looking at one of these connectors and you want to bring in information that's out in some giant file storage system, you can set up all kinds of filters for, hey, only pull in things after these dates, don't bring in any index anything that's under this, over this size, yada yada. And it will continually run that, so as you're dropping new files out there, you get them. I'm going to go ahead in my situation and just say, hey, I want to do a manual selection. I would be able to now come and start adding each of my expense statements. And now I'm not dropping it onto my system. These things stay in my S3. They're not coming to my cloud tenant. And I would be able to index those things that way. Now, what I'm really going to do is I'm going to say, you know what? My poor field operatives out there, they don't have in my S3 bucket, and I'm not giving you my secret key. That's a secret. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go ahead and say add files again, and this time I do want to browse. This time you're going to use the zip file that had Q Division expenses, and you'll see all of these statements. I'm simply going to go ahead and upload I'm going to select all of these out of my zip file that I unpack. And it is now bringing those in. I'm not even going to suggest it because you're going to wag your finger at me. These are not indexed yet. I am not ready to use these until I have indexed them. So I'm going to go ahead and say index all. Now, because we turned on the advanced, this is going to take a few seconds. So I'm going to bring these down and try to show you. You'll see now when we did the first time and I showed you, they were all done like that because they were super easy. Because we're doing the advanced and because these are larger, they involve tables, we need to do this advanced chunking. It's going to take a second for these things to go. So I'm going to let this run for a second. We should start seeing some of these files get indexed. So I'm just going to keep scrolling. I'm not sure which end it was going to start with because these things aren't in any particular order here. All right, we had 39 pages across 15 different documents indexed. Everything has finished. The index status is saying it's completed. It just finished 3 seconds ago. So if I come in here 5 weeks from now and it says 5 weeks ago we got problems, again, I don't want to create another assistant because I want to be able to tie all of this information together. So I'm going to come back out to the catalog, go to my answer, and I'm looking again for that assistant. Well, now I've got a slew of files out there, so maybe I just want to scroll down here and pick assistants and knowledge bases. And now I can find my field training assistant, and I'm going to add content again, if you remember how we did that in Module 2. I'm going to say, yes, I want to add a knowledge base. And again, I'm going to pick my space because you can add knowledge bases from other things. I'm going to pick my expense statement. Notice that it's the only one that wasn't already grayed out for me. I'm going to go ahead and add that. And I'm in business because everything's indexed. My agent is now ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and magnify this for you. And what I'm going to do this time, this is a rather long question, so I'm just going to go ahead and paste this in because you've seen my typing in the other modules. It can be pretty bad. My question is, I reviewed the expense statement in the knowledge base for case 103, and it seems suspicious to me that the agent purchased hard drives and a USB. Does that raise any red flags with you, or are they understandable? Now, I want to go ahead and show you these things, so I'm going to take a look down through my expense statements. We're going to scroll through all of these expense statements, and you'll notice I found this line here on November 16th for external hard drives. I don't know why an agent who's out in the field getting wined and dined and meeting with clients is buying hard drives. That raises a red flag to me if I was a human reading this. And oh, by the way, they bought this 10-port USB hub. That seems a little bit flaky to me. So I might ask that question legitimately. Oh, you already guessed it. Yes, the answer agent is on the job right away. He's going to get all the data sources. He understands the context is about case 1003, and so he's going to try to find the information that's going to be the right thing. As you guessed, the knowledge base agent is going to get involved. He's going to go off and do a vector search for this information, and it's looking for hard drives for this case. The search provided a whole bunch of other information, tells me about what the case is about. Now here's what gets interesting. I came in here assuming this agent was up to no good, right? I happen to read an expense statement. I think something's flaky. This is crazy. He comes back and says, hey, the hard drive and USB are legitimate operational expenses. They don't raise any red flags. Let me give you the context. The case involved Operation False Precision, a data center, blah, blah, blah. They purchased this, but these purchases are justified given that they were conducting forensic analysis of an ETL pipeline and code. All the expenses comply, and if I go down through that source, you'll see that when I jumped in here to try to show you, hey, you know what, I can find expenses on the last page of an expense statement. I didn't show you at the top of this was actually the notes and the times of what the activities were that were going on. I want you to understand the other ones were super easy questions in the other modules. I want you to understand the logic that's going on here, the collective wisdom of the world that's in that large language model that Qlik Answers is sitting on top of. This isn't just a search and find operation here. I am trying to do forensic accounting, and I get the wisdom of the world here like, whoa, 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 007 Dork. You got glasses on and you are focused on that expense line, and that is not what you need to see. You need to see the big picture of what was going on, and it was able to interpret From both of those contexts in a knowledge graph, these things are related to the activities that they did. Friends, you got to be loving that, operatives. If you're not ready to go dig in even deeper, I don't know what is going to get you excited about Qlik answers. As a young dork, I found that my focus could be very narrow. I would see one piece of information and jump to conclusions. If there's one thing I've learned here in Q Division, it's that the real story usually involves the ability to see a much larger context, one that's larger than even my dork brain can handle. Asking Qlik answers is my way of ensuring that all the elements are being accounted for, and that in conjunction with the collective wisdom of the world and that large language model that Qlik answers sits on, the answers to my questions make me look a whole lot smarter. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to ask one better question today. This is 007 Dork. Over and out.